All the booms. Let's hear you guys. Let's hear you. Boom, boom, boom. Let's do this. Go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight for this republic every day, my friends. We fight for truth. We fight for our kids. We fight for our kids' kids. We fight for truth. So yes, I guess we have an agenda. The agenda is truth. And with that being said, my partner in justice, the Shady Groove, fresh out of Oregon. Let's get ready to rumble. Shady Groove.
Let's get ready to rumble.
I wanted to do that when we had David Nino Rodriguez. I wanted to do that.
Good morning from Oregon. What a night we had out here on the West Coast last night, my friend.
What happened in Oregon?
We got a big, big, big win for the state and for our representation. Joe Ray Perkins won the Republican nomination for United States Senator.
But wait, wasn't she on that Media Matters thing where QAnon people were running for Congress?
She was.
Wow. Alex Kaplan has got to be spinning right now, huh? For Media Matters.
He was helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons how we found out about her, but I think you found out about her just before this article came out because
right.
Yeah, and I tell you,
because she was fighting with people that were anti-Q, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is. And at that point, remember, she hadn't made the switch to run for Senate. She was running for Congress, and not too long after that, she decided that the Senate looked like the more attainable target, and she pivoted her campaign and just now won the nomination last night.
Look at that.
And it was amazing. I was out all day yesterday. I sent her a message. I'm like, I got back to the service. I'm like, did you win?
And we'll play this a little bit later, but look at that, Shady. I put together a little video just of her part where she's thanking the Q people and the people she ran against, and what do the Q people say? Where we go one, we go all. I mean, we'll watch that. Maybe we might have a special guest, so we'll watch that a little bit later. What do you think?
All right, let's do.
Ooh, did I give it away? I kind of gave it away.
Yeah, maybe so.
Maybe gave it away. But Rosebuds, Storm Girl, Sturgy, Philip Proffer, Born Deplorable, Velvet Elvis, Tiffany Lee, Lisa Lampron, Grandpa C, Tripod, for Truth Freedom USA, Andy Social, Pam, Oanon, you guys did it.
You made a difference.
I think we made a difference in Oregon. I mean, we'll talk to Joe Ray a little bit about it, but I am so proud of this show. I'm so proud of being here with you on the daily, except for yesterday. But we'll talk about that. Look at the beautiful view I had yesterday, Shady.
Nice. I'm hoping that you got a minute to kind of gather and regroup and get a little bit of fresh air, my friend.
Oh my gosh, it felt so good to get the toes in the sand, Shady. That grounding.
You were able to get into the dry sand?
No, well, you can't walk in the dry sand in California. Good thing we're in Florida.
Okay. In California, you can only walk and be in the wet sand, so they're saying.
We have no masks here in Martin County, Florida. We just got another death, so we have 7. We tied 2017 flu deaths just recently, and I don't remember anything being shut down then.
No.
Me neither. I don't remember the whole country being shut down over the flu ever.
And actually, I got that flu in 2017. It was pretty nasty. And I went to the doctor, and I was always hell-bent against taking Tamiflu, but I felt I had no other option, and it actually worked. But I would never take Tamiflu normally, but it was a nasty flu. And I knew I had a friend whose dad died of that flu in 2017. I don't know anybody here this year that died of it. I have an uncle that just couldn't breathe right, couldn't eat. He's elderly as it is, He went into the hospital and they said, "Oh, you're COVID," so they put him in the COVID department. Then he wasn't COVID, so they put him in the no COVID department. Just prayers for my uncle, if you guys could. He does not have COVID, but God forbid. I'm just really worried about him, and I would really love your prayers. But he did test negative for COVID. I'd like to make sure that that's pointed out, and I will make sure that stays the same. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. And what we're seeing right now is we're seeing adjustments in every state and in other countries. I think Italy just knocked 25,000 off of their death toll from this, and they're also doing it in the states here in America where people obviously had other complications, and they connected it with this flu or the COVID, and marked them down as passed on from this. And now they're redoing the records in multiple states. So we are seeing a little bit of truth in our government processes. It's kind of,
it's kind of we saw San Diego with a population of 3.3 million. This was a Q post that the actual COVID deaths, I think it was like 130 some odd. Don't quote me.
I think you're right in the ballpark.
133, 136, something like that. But it ended up being just 6, Shady.
Right.
Real COVID deaths.
This is just a monstrosity.
Shane's got it right. Dollars for COVID deaths. I think that's what Q's pointing us to, too, Shady.
It is. I agree. I completely agree. They're looking for slush funds any way they can get it. And this whole move that Cuomo made about putting people in the nursing homes with COVID, that was like a way.
And nobody should be prosecuted, Shady.
Oh yeah, no one can be held accountable. But we have to hold the president accountable if he screws up. But if you screw up as the governor, an elected official, we don't hold you accountable.
Jeffrey Fowler said 194, then changed to 6. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. See, that's why you guys are here. We're all in this together. No one here is above the other. I just can't believe I'm here with you guys. Honestly,
I know it's kind of surreal, isn't it? To have a footing to fight for our country as opposed to just being the lone voice like we've always been. You and I in our personal lives before Q or whatever. We were the lone voice in our lives, not very much support around us. And now to see that we have come together, and then all of you guys have come together, and now we are no longer a lone voice. We are a threat to their narrative, my friend.
We sure are. We are changing their narrative on the daily. And I want to thank you guys very much. I see all those prayers, and they're so appreciated. Thank you so very much.
And I would like to also direct you to our real good friend Mac out there, whose dad is having a hard time right now.
Oh.
And so maybe have some prayers for Mac as well. We're thinking about you, brother. And, you've got my number. If you need anything, you give me a call, my friend.
Nice. And could you bump up just a hair, Shady, maybe?
Absolutely.
All right, and so we got QAnon posts. Let's go into this. Mac, God bless you, man. And
how
prayers.
About there? Does that get us any better?
That's a lot better, yes.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, Mac, dude, you have been a blessing to the show. I know Shady met you. I'm jealous because I wanted to meet you first.
We got the red pill together. It was fun, Matrix. Just like you and I, whenever we were hanging out, we were red pilling together.
Yeah.
Mac and I were at the Arizona rally, and we were red pilling people. It was so much fun.
Yeah, and you were there with Lori Bango too, who's quite a talent.
Lori Bango and Nunya Business was also there.
Nunya, oh my God, that's amazing. I can't wait to meet.
Like a little crew.
I would love to meet each and every one of you guys and just give you a hug for COVID.
A COVID hug.
A COVID hug. There's Mac 74 SHA Mac 74 SHA 74. So Mac, prayers to you, brother, and you've been amazing. All right, and your dad and out there. So look at this, Shady. I walked in onto the beach wearing this garb. And this was a fan-made shirt. They're not available. They were just fan-made. I think Out of Shadows might have their own shirt line coming up, so stay tuned. But in the front it says, "Are you awake yet?" And she goes, "Hey, let me," family of 5 people. They were older. And they're like, "Let me see your shirt." It says, "Are you awake?" And she's like, "What does the back say?" outofshadows.org. And we started talking about Out of Shadows. Then we were talking about, hydroxychloroquine, and her daughter had, was it Lyme disease? And I'm like, "You might try it. Have you tried it?" She hasn't tried it. So just a quick little red pill, and talking about, you're going to see a lot of things coming up, because no matter what president you want to vote for in the future, this kind of shenanigans, these shenanigans need to stop. And it's a very good way because you don't know if they like Trump or not, but they agreed with me.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. I don't care if you like Trump or not, but these shenanigans need to stop. And I don't care if you want to call yourself a Democrat and you're fighting for your Democrat candidate, Joe Biden. I don't care. But he should not be spied on, nor should anybody else that runs for president.
That is absolutely correct. And that's one thing that we cannot get the talking heads to understand, because they, we think we
High fiber. I agree. I'm sorry. I just had to agree with high fiber there in chat. Far worse than shenanigans. This is killing people. And he's right. Shady, I didn't mean to step on you, brother, but
he's absolutely right. And we also just get a little bit mad about it, because this is the point. They're trying to use this BS excuse to destroy our country and destroy small business. Look, if you can go into Walmart, if you can go into Home Depot, if you can go into Dollar Store, if you can go into all these big box stores right now, well, China is open, Matrix. China opened up a month ago. They're open. So all of these stores are direct links to China and China made products. But all the American people, 36 million of us, fired, without a job, not working. What do you think's going on here? Does this not look like the whole world is working together to shut America down?
Not the whole world. But yes, it does, Shady. And you and I were talking yesterday, and you brought
globalists in the world. How about that?
you brought up a great point. I think we're seeing the actual real unemployment numbers finally.
Yes.
Not that that's a good thing, guys.
No, but yeah, let me explain that just a second. You guys know that we have been not calculating proper unemployment numbers over the last 20 years, especially since 9/11. And what's been going on is people that stop claiming unemployment, they are removed from the rolls, and then they're counted as out of the workforce, not unemployed and able. And so now we've escalated this number up to 36 million. It's almost like we're trying to grab in the real unemployment numbers, the real economy numbers. Now we're busting up large meat distributors. We're busting up large antitrust laws all over the place are happening with the meat, with Google, with big tech, with Silicon Valley. So we are really trying to organize ourselves within a real economy and build it from here. The president said, I did it once, I'll do it again. And you could pretty much bet your bottom dollar that he's going to do it.
Yeah. There's amazing things. Somebody asked if HCQ heals MS. I don't know, but
it does have positive effects. I have seen other people who have MS and who have had positive effects from hydroxychloroquine, zinc, and the or the Z-Pack and the azithromycin or whatever it is. There's a 3 combo there. And I'm not exactly sure, but all neurological disorders seem to be responding positively to this, including seizures. People that are having seizures are responding to this too. That's another big thing they're not talking about. That seizures, kids with seizures are responding to that, and they're having a lot of luck with the CBD with the seizures now that people aren't talking about.
Oh, yes, yes.
Some to really look into, guys. The CBD, the HCQ. The president is telling us to heal ourselves. He's saying you got to take your power. You got to demand things. You got to research on your own. This isn't going to be up to us sitting here telling you what to do.
Right. And, I'm actually very, very, very impressed with our president. I do think that they were actually trying to possibly hurt our president, right? Trying to give him the COVID. And he is taking it prophylactically now. And to me, that's leading by example.
Well, why would they? Don't you think it's interesting how triggered that they got?
Heads exploded.
Their heads exploded. Now, isn't it interesting to think that, okay, now we have the vice president's chief of staff had tested positive. We had a few other people at the White House tested positive. We have a driver for the president that tested positive. So are they trying to slip the president the COVID, and they can't because he's taking the vaccine, and then their heads exploded when they found out he was taking the HCQ?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Somebody's saying I need allergy meds. Yeah, they're bad here in Florida too, but I'm fine. I'm pretty good right now, actually.
It's hot down there.
It is hot. It's 90 degrees right now. Feels like 100.
Woo-wee.
All right, so let's get into some of these, Shady.
Let's do it.
Really nice conversations there. You guys are amazing. Just want to thank you guys every day. General Flynn tweeted again today.
Yes,
Let's
he
just
did.
cover that real quick. Be not afraid. And you know what came to my mind is do not fear. The Q
Do not
post.
fear.
Yeah. But look at this. This is the TJH project, and they follow me. I'm pretty honored about that. This is, they assist for nonprofit causes and provide veterans with rehab, reintegration, and opportunities as they transition into civilian life. Is that amazing? That's Charlie Daniels started that. Rest in peace, Charlie Daniels. How cool is that?
That is super cool. Charlie Daniels is alive, right?
I think he passed away, didn't he?
He did?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I didn't know that. If you did,
Please, chat, will you check that out for me?
I think he's alive.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's
I
alive.
misspoke.
Yeah, no passed away date.
I misspoke,
Charlie
guys.
Daniels
I am
is with us.
so sorry. Oh, my God.
Oh, good. We correct in the moment. It's all good.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. So, yeah, they got him here.
But
Devil
this
went
is
down
this
to
is really
Georgia.
amazing because you guys have to understand, like, all of the injured and mentally injured people that had to witness and come back from over there and all the stuff. I mean, this is an amazing project. I'm really glad that General Flynn highlighted this.
Yeah. He's 83 years old. God bless you. Okay. I'm so sorry, guys. I misspoke. See? But this is kind of the kind of thing where we correct ourselves, and you guys are amazing. By the way,
in real time.
yeah, real time. By the way, it is a 362 thumbs up, 2 thumbs down. Thank you, my trolls. I love you very much and pray for you. For our free speech. We appreciate it, and you have every right to thumb it down. So thank you for that. It's just another view. All right. So also remember, guys, down below, we've been demonetized from YouTube, and it's really kind of hurting us a little bit. So there's a PayPal down there, the Patreon down there link. If you get the $10, you can join us in the Q Army Plus Discord server that Pseudonym and Kiwi run. We really appreciate them doing that. If you have any questions, please direct them to our mods. And with that, let's just kind of get into it. Let's actually go into the Q post, Shady.
Yeah, man. Throw me the screen share there real quick. I just noticed I don't have that up yet.
Oh, you don't need that, do you?
I was
Here,
I wanna
read this. Read
one.
this post, Shady. Here you go.
Let me get over to YouTube.
Guys, we do this every day, man. It's so fun, man. This has been amazing, Shady. All right,
This really
I got you the
has been
screen
amazing.
share.
Man, what an energy we got from last night, I tell you.
Oh my gosh. So these are the posts yesterday, right? Yeah, right here. And I missed 481 at first. And it was really interesting too, because I was talking to the head of Trump Team 2020 here, and we were talking about chess. And I did not know that Barron is a master chess player.
Mm-hmm.
And his dad, master level chess players, guys.
Yeah, Donald Trump quit playing chess when he turned 40. He had mastered the game, and actually, I think he stopped competing when he was 40.
And he plays with his kid, I guarantee.
Well, I'm pretty sure he does. And
Yeah.
from what I understand, Barron is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's amazing. Be Not Afraid, hadn't written by Pope John Paul II from his. It's also in the Bible, right? Right? I don't know. I didn't dig into that as much yet, but I will be digging into that. And there's a song too. 4281 Shady. How about a nice game of chess? And it goes over to Chess World articles. It talks about chess strategy and what you need to know about strategy and tactics. Objective.
Microphone.
And checkmate king. Do you attack the king at the beginning of the game? Do you attack and remove the pawns first? Do you attack and remove bishops, rooks, knights next? Do you attack and remove queen mid to end? Is the game being played public or private? Do emotions affect critical thinking? Add important king control pieces, eliminate rogue elements. Add how do you set the stage board regarding public opinions, optics at this time? Q.
And see, that's very important because we have to have the king control the other pieces so we can eliminate the rogue elements. Slowly working back. We work this top to or bottom to top as opposed to top to bottom.
That's right. And by the way, Shady, we've got the Republican nominee for Oregon Senator, Joe Ray Perkins. Joe Ray.
Hey, good morning.
Joe Ray Perkins.
Hey, man.
Oh my gosh.
What a delight it is to have you.
Man.
Trying to get.
Shady, you're looking rather froggy today, my friend.
He's always
I
froggy.
appreciate that. No better compliment.
Love that smile. Matrix.
Let me stop the share, Shady, so we can get Joe Ray onto video. Sorry, guys. 1 second.
Joe Ray Perkins joining us fresh off of her massive win in the great state of Oregon. The state of Oregon is getting more great by the moment simply because we have a chance at having a real, true American patriot as a U.S. Senator. Joe Ray, wow, what a night you had, my friend.
Oh my gosh. But hey, let me tell you, I got to tell you guys about my morning. I just got off the phone with the New York Times for 40 plus minutes.
I understand you had to put him on hold, too.
40 plus minutes. I videotaped the whole thing. It's all recorded.
Good.
We went down the Q road.
Oh, no. How did that go?
Okay. And you recorded it. That's good because.
It is all recorded.
Yeah, because they could take you out of context, and we will make sure that we correct the record if need be.
So it's all recorded, okay? And so he's asking me about Q, and I said, well, I want to know why you guys don't ask President Trump the Q question.
Right.
Why you guys ask him who is Q?
Instead of just attacking us, right? Wow.
Oh, well, and he goes, well, where do you think President Trump plays in this? And I go, he's Q plus.
That is awesome. Oh my God, Joe Ray.
Who are you speaking with over there?
Michael Baker, I think is his name.
Okay.
In Seattle.
Michael Baker.
So, yeah. Is that awesome?
Yes, that is
awesome. Like this, I mean, the idea were they kind of dumbfounded at the size of the win? I mean, you didn't win by just a little bit, Joe Ray. You kind of trounced them out there.
I haven't even seen the final numbers yet. I went to bed at, I don't even know, 3:34 this morning.
I'm looking at the current numbers right now, and you've gotten 155,000 votes. 155.58. Your next closest competitor, Romero, had 95,000. So 49.7% for you, 30.7 for your next closest opponent.
I want another 0.3%. I want to get that 50%.
You're almost, you're 0.3% away.
I know.
Wow. I mean, we got to just think of what a miracle it is that the ballots were counted and assessed properly, right?
So, well, I'll tell you guys, this is what's going to happen. This is my guess. And we do know what I'm about to say. We do know it really did happen. Is there, because of Oregon's motor voter law, and in Oregon, I'm hoping that we can get a petition and get that motor voter law off our books. So for those of you that don't live in Oregon, when you go to the DMV and you get a driver's license, once you're age 16, you get registered to vote. You can't vote till you're 18. If you go to the DMV because you got married and you're changing your name, they register you to vote. It doesn't matter that you were already registered to vote. They register you to vote again. And then they register you as a non-affiliated voter.
Interesting.
There have been people that have gone to the DMV to get a new, because they got a new car, to renew their driver's license.
Right.
They get registered to vote again. They have registered people that are not U.S. citizens. There was one person that we know of, and I know that there's more. He got a driver's license, and the guy says, "Well, do you want to get registered to vote?" Because I'm not a citizen. I will be, but I can't vote. They registered him to vote, and this was documented. So what's happening is there are a lot of people that got ballots that thought that they were registered as Republicans, and they got non-affiliated ballots.
Yes. Yeah. And that we showed that article. That was an article yesterday, right?
Yes,
so
yes.
And there's a Facebook group that said, "Hey, wait a minute. I just got put non-affiliated. I can't vote."
Yes.
Wow.
Correct.
Yeah, because we got that all over, the Twitterverse, if you will. The Q Army got behind that and looking at voter fraud in Oregon.
Right.
However, our Joe Ray won.
I won. So I'm just saying,
with voter fraud.
One of my opponents may say, "Oh, she won because voter fraud." No, I won because people know that I am the candidate who can and will unseat the very far less liberal, pro-abortion, progressive, never do nothing, pro-impeachment Jeff Woodward.
I think they underestimated the power of this movement.
They did that too. And the Q movement, I was telling the New York Times, I said, I know a bunch of Q people in Oregon. They all Q people. What am I going to do? People that follow Q voted for me. Did
so I asked you yesterday,
I don't know.
I asked you yesterday, what do you think?
Out there? I mean, I said no, probably not, because I don't know how many are out there. I only know the 10 or 12 or 20 that were at the thing last night. Most of the people that were at our election night party are Q people.
Yeah, let's play this real quick. Let me get that over here. I did a little clip of the video. I didn't. This is not the whole video. This is just the end. Let me get my Windows capture here real quick. This is display. You guys can see that now. Here we go.
To the general, he's sitting there shaking his head. Yeah, so y'all are welcome, because this is a statewide race, and everybody out there in virtual world, please join the campaign team. And I'd like to thank my opponents. It was a good race, and I hope that you will support my candidacy. And we're in this together, and so it's all for one. So let's make it happen. And as all of us Q people like to say, where we go what? We go on!
Yeah!
All right.
Now, Joe Ray was in Media Matters as a Q supporter running for Congress, folks. There she is. How awesome is this? And then here's the final results. Joe Ray wins Republican Senate primary in Oregon. Yay! How about that? How about that, Joe Ray?
I couldn't. I didn't know what you had up there on the screen. I couldn't.
Could you hear it though?
I could talk in the background, other than the celebration.
Yeah.
So for people who want to know who is up there standing to my left is my husband, to my right is our daughter, and then our niece, my sister-in-law, and on the other side of my husband was my good friend Dale, and then some other Amy and Becky, part of my campaign team. So
this is a celebration, and there was an interesting Q post today too, and I want to just bring that up. I mean, I don't know if this is what it's about, but why did here it is? It's 4291, and it's this person, U.S. Patriot, and it's got a Q in there as well in the handle, and it says, "I've always been anti-social media, but I've finally decided to join Twitter to show my love and support for you, Mr. President. You are truly amazing, putting America first, and the way you fight the hateful left and media. Nobody else could do what you do. Truly incredible. Where we go one, we go all." And Q says, why did POTUS reply to a tweet from May 30th, 2019, where we go one, we go all? But I love how you said, you gave a shout out to the Q people, because you, in my opinion, I mean, you're faithful to the truth. And Q is not a thing, a person, it's the information. And I think the information that you've learned from being a quote unquote Q person will help you in the Senate. 100%.
Oh, absolutely. It was interesting, the interview at the New York Times. They keep trying to hang you up. And I have to chuckle because they think that I'm dumb.
Guess what? We've got a Q post. Let's see what we got.
Oh, Q post.
So we've got 4292, and it's Donald Trump standing there with Fauci in a mask. And it's Twitter. It says reconcile Q. So let's go to the Twitter post. Why was Dr. Fauci, a health expert, just a few months ago telling us masks were harmful and unessential to those who aren't infected? Why do we need masks now? What changed since March? S52E3 air date March 8th, 2020. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen for you, Joe Ray, so you can hear what is being said here. Hang on one second. There you go. And let me make sure I got you on. Hang on, Joe Ray. You're eating, and I got you on here. I'm so sorry. Let me get this over here. I don't know what I got on here. Hold up, guys. We'll do it live. All right, here we go. This is the Fauci guy. Here, let's check him out.
Confusion among people and misinformation surrounding face masks. Can you discuss that?
The masks are important for someone who's infected to prevent them from infecting someone else. Now, when you see people and look at the films in China and South Korea, whatever, everybody's wearing a mask. Right now in the United States, people should not be walking around with masks.
You're sure of it? Because people are listening really
No.
closely to this.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask.
Wow.
When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is. And often, there are unintended consequences. People keep fiddling with the mask and they keep touching their face.
And can you get some schmutz sort of staying inside there?
Of course. But when you think masks, you should think of healthcare providers needing them and people who are ill. The people who, when you look at the films of foreign countries and you see 85% of the people wearing masks, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not against it. If you want to do it, that's fine.
But it can lead to a shortage of masks.
Exactly.
Which
That's
we're
the
starting
point. It
to
could
see.
lead to a shortage of masks for the people who really need it.
Wow.
Oh, TikTok.
TikTok. Overtime. Q sent us again. Matrix Groove Hour, guys. Let's go ahead and
Except for
invite
now,
everybody.
guys, there's not a shortage of masks.
Right. And well, I think what's happening, Joe Ray, that we basically come join us now. Come. We think that it's exposing the what is it called? So we think that it has to do with our delivery for goods and stuff. We think that that's being fixed. What Trump is doing, because remember,
Right.
All of these different agreements, and then Shady and I kind of found. I went on a tear one night. Remember that, Shady? I was up late, and I'm like, fishing is fun. Oh my God, fishing is when. Was it fishing is fun? I can't remember, but one of them was basically you store inventory in a warehouse. And then, you have a shell company, and then you sell that shell company, say, 1 million masks. The masks stay there. Maybe the inventory goes bad, but you have insurance on the inventory, so you can either get the insurance on the inventory or you RMA it back to the company, so their numbers look good when they ship it, and when you RMA it, it comes back. It's just all a big game. I think it's exposing a lot of that
never
stuff.
actually reach the people.
That's right.
It's all like a game to protect and to make it look like they're doing stuff. Initially, like the supply lines and the whole supply chain between us and China, like this is being completely reworked, like every aspect of it. And I think that we're focusing on the medical reality right now simply because that's the most important.
Yep.
I mean, we've been sold out. Like, not only has the antibiotics and vaccines and all that stuff been sold out, but all your systems are sold out. Facebook has access to your hospital records, so China has access to your hospital records. Like, all of this, guys, is the whole world working to literally destroy the idea of a free society.
That's right.
Well, so last night, Brian was saying that the N95 masks, they allow
The coronavirus has slipped through.
because it's 1 micron, and
right.
so anything that is 2 or less microns goes through the N95 mask.
That's right.
And the coronavirus is a 1 micron.
Well, and it's also it can get in your eye.
That's where it goes in the most. They're saying that last night, believe it or not, on Anderson Vanderbilt's show, they were saying that coronavirus isn't spread through surfaces. It goes into the eye. That's where we believe that it goes through.
Really?
Yeah, and
Because if you drink coffee, it's gone.
And the truth of the matter is, even the N95 mask, if you're not wearing a respirator with the little filters on the side of it that's tight against your face, then you're not even protected with an N95 mask. So, and they were telling us that a month and a half ago, whenever they were saying, "Oh, we're going to just do a 30-day shutdown." Now we're 60 days into this, and still acting like governors are saying end of July, August, September before we open anything. You know, I mean, like people aren't gonna.
Yeah, let's get into that, Shady, because we discussed that. Remember, so we're gonna discuss that again here in a little bit. But I want to show you this. Secretary Pompeo today at 10 a.m. Eastern said all our microchips will be made in America again.
Yay.
So so we got pharmaceuticals. Now we've got microchips. I mean, this equals jobs, folks. It's not rocket science.
Huge.
It's also the food. It's also the food supply because of the big moves that he's making with all the farmers. Isn't just about helping the farmers. It's about setting up supply chains directly to you, the American people, so that things don't have to go through Canada or Mexico to get to your grocery store.
Right.
You know, because that's been the model this whole time is bringing all this stuff from overseas, bringing all this stuff. They're shipping all these apples here from South America, but you can't find an apple from Washington anywhere.
Well, and that's what POTUS said. I want the whole car to be built here. Everything.
Right.
All the pieces.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
All
Oh my
the
gosh,
pieces.
the amount of jobs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not. I've always said that it's really not rocket science. Let's bring jobs here. Hello.
Yep. Wow, look at that group of people. That was a fine looking group of people you just
These
had.
guys.
Yeah.
Look at 36,000
Wait,
views.
Wait. Scroll back down. See, I missed that. Scroll down.
Scroll down.
I said alert, just above the video. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I should
yeah.
tell you what to do.
That's me. Alert. Joe Ray Perkins wins.
Alert. Oh, okay. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
See,
Do you see your video has 36,000 views here?
What?
Look.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We try to get you out there, Joe Ray.
You guys rock.
Well, you also rock because you doing your streams every day like you did, the digital, how do you, in this environment, how do you do it, right? You get out there and do it digitally, and I'm very proud of you, Joe Ray. Very proud of you. Look at everybody's reactions. This is awesome. And, this should be cued, in my opinion, because you are true to who you are. And you're amazing, and I'm very proud of you. And this show loves you.
Just before I left to go up to the campaign event, I did my quick Q video that Joe Ray Perkins, U.S. Senate candidate for Oregon, and held up my "Where We Go One We Go All" sticker. You guys can see that on the screen. The other people can't, but anyway, held that up. Not over my face. I held it up. And,
Nice.
Gave a shout out to Q Plus, and all the Q Patriots.
Yep, and your regular videos this one's got 7,000 views on Periscope. This is your, here it is right here, right? This one? Here we go. Let's check it out.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Joe Ray Perkins, candidate for the U.S. Senate in Oregon.
Oop.
Where we go one, we go all. I stand with President Trump. I stand with Q and the team. Thank you, Anons, and thank you, Patriots, and together we can save our republic.
Wow.
We're going to save our republic. We've already done it simply because we've came together and we've decided to openly have a conversation about the truth and not let the conflated media narrative interrupt our discourse, our discussion. We've ignored that, and we've had a real conversation about what we see, feel, think, and hear about what we're seeing. And now we've come to an agreement that we're all on the same page, and America is the most important thing. America gives us all our freedom, and that is what we should be loyal to, each other. The republic is each other.
That video has 113,000 views.
Uh-oh.
Q.
Come on, Q.
New
Let's
Q.
do Joe Ray.
Let's see what we
Oh
got
my gosh,
here.
I'd probably have a heart attack.
I might have a heart attack, too.
All right, so Q post 4293, folks. Shady, why don't you take it?
All right, here we go, guys. This is a link to the authorization of subpoena for the
GOP's Hunter Biden, guys.
in Burisma.
Oh, hang
This
on
is
one
gonna-
second. Let me dismiss this, Shady. Hang on. Okay.
Oh, there you go. Senate
Wow.
Committee authorizes subpoena in GOP's Hunter Biden Burisma investigation. So that means that the subpoenas that I think it was Graham is asking for have been authorized. And so these people will be required to testify, COVID or no COVID. And Q says, meanwhile, Democrats on the, actually, this is quoting from the article, it looks like. Meanwhile, Democrats on the Homeland Security Committee have decided the investigation and the subpoena, arguing that they should be focusing on coronavirus-related issues during the ongoing pandemic and prioritize it over politics.
Wow.
In a letter sent to on Tuesday, Kamala Harris of California renewed her calls for another COVID hearing, nothing that the committee hasn't held one since early March. DNC, media, mainstream media, echo chamber, push? Is this about the virus or preventing exposure of the Democrat corruption? Is this about the virus or locking Republican-controlled Senate from investigating FISA, Biden, other corruption? Is this about the virus or the election?
Wow. Wow. Let me share this link.
I think that's a boom.
That's a
because
huge boom.
It wasn't just Hunter. They were requesting testimony from quite a number of them. I think Comey, Clapper, Brennan were all requested to testify under this. So I think this might be even more than just Hunter Biden.
Oh, yeah. Well, so we got Biden in Burisma, right? Ukraine. We've got John Kerry's son. We've got Romney's son. We've got
we have the
Pelosi.
Yanukovych lady, too. Remember, she came up there, the lady that was testifying and all the impeachment thing. She was saying that she didn't have anything to do with Burisma, but now we have conversations where she was talking directly to the board that Hunter Biden was serving on.
I have nothing to do with that, Shady.
Oh.
I mean, they can't just say that crap anymore, guys. How come when we do something, we have to make sure it's vetted and correct and not lie? They just lie, Shady. I can't take it.
Because they know that the mockingbird organism is going to have their back.
Yeah.
They can just lie with impunity and nobody's going to call them to account except for you guys, the people. The media is not on your side. They're the enemy of the people. The people are calling them to account. QAnons are calling them to account. And other great journalists out there who actually understand objective, impartial journalism.
Right.
I know it's hard to learn. It's very difficult to get through the classes and understand that you don't insert yourself into a story.
That's right. All right, so we kind of went over the chess one, Shady. Let's take this next one. Joe Ray, do you want to read it?
Sure.
Q post 4282 on 5/19. This was yesterday, 2020.
POTUS daily ingest HCQ prevent COVID-19. Pre-announcement tools, sources, data, COVID-1 versus COVID-2 analysis, etc. Provided to factually challenge narrative. Full attack versus HCQ by media, Dems. Why? Why wouldn't the media, the Dems, want to work on all fronts to find a possible solution? Immediate dismissal. Why doesn't the Dems, the Ds, want the pandemic, rearrange Dempanic? I love it. Dempanic to stop. Why doesn't the media Ds want society to heal, recover? Why doesn't the media Ds want people to no longer fear going outside? Why doesn't the media Ds want people to point the finger at China as the source? Why doesn't the media Ds, typo, want people to return to work, normal daily lives? Who benefits the most? Who does corporate media, the Ds, attempt to control? Why does the corporate media, the Ds, attempt to control us? What if everything that you were told was a lie? Why does corporate media challenge, attack anyone who defies, push coordinated narrative? Why does corporate media, again the Ds, attempt to prevent individual critical thinking public? Is this about the virus or something else? Everything is at stake in this election.
Wow.
And, it's interesting in this post, but I got a few responses on Twitter yesterday. People were like, I thought the 2018 election was do or die. And now you're saying it's the 20. Listen, guys, just to maybe say, every election is sacred. And that's what people don't understand. Like, you've been trained to not pay attention to your election cycle. You've been trained to not participate in your system. You've been trained to not learn civics and not understand for a specific reason, because an election in a banana republic is just an election within our republic here is very sacred, and it should be on the forefront minds of every single American, not just the ones that are interested in politics. According to our Constitution, we're all supposed to always know. Therefore, we police the people who we elect to serve us. And so now we're in this situation where, like, oh, well, the truth is every election matters, and every voting cycle matters, and every candidate can do things to harm us. And that's why we have to vet them. And that's also why you've been pushed out of the political process over the last 20 years and set aside and been told that your voice doesn't matter. The absolute opposite is completely true. Your voice matters more inside the borders of the United States of America than any other person's voice in their country in the world. Yeah. Your voice matters because you're speaking up for freedom. You're speaking up for a government that is supposed to serve the people, not the people being told what to do. It's a big difference, and it's a big deal. So I would just like for everyone to. It's
kind of a ridiculous comment, Shady.
I know 2022 is going to be very important as well. So will 2024, 2026. Every single election in America is sacred.
Again, everybody, wants instant gratification. That's what we've been taught and trained.
That's not the way the world works.
This is this here. Let's go up to the Q post.
Let's do.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
I used that. I loved it. I was so excited to see that yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's what we've been. That's what this whole train. This is the QAnon or the Q movement or Q drops. It's a training tool. It's a tool to get you informed about what's going on in your country. B, to teach you about how your country functions. 3, to show you the massive corruption, and 4, to show you that the media, who's supposed to be looking at corruption, looks at everything except corruption.
Exactly right.
Together. And it is a marathon, not a sprint. We can't run, full bore 22 miles an hour as a human being 24/7. We have to pace ourselves. We have to be diligent. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to slow down sometimes and think, okay, well, maybe I need to rethink this and reassess and take a minute to meditate or take a minute to worship or whatever it is that resets you. Like all these things are to be managed by our individual selves, not by some corporate hand or instructive person on the TV.
That's right. That's right. So guys, it's not a sprint. It's not instant gratification. Everybody, I just want to see an arrest. Well, great. Good for you. So do I. But you know what? This is thousands of years of control, folks. These are deals. There's so much more. The 40,000-foot view is a lot bigger than you guys are thinking, and
hey
me
guys,
too. Yeah.
I gotta go. My phone's ringing off the hook.
Okay, Joe Ray, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you to everybody out there. But I've got tons of messages sitting here. The phone just rang again, and
let's just see real quick. Hang on. All right, so
all of this on the replay.
You got it. God bless you, Joe Ray. We love you. Future Democrat, excuse me. Oh my God, what am I doing? Future Republican senator. Oh my God. All right, Joe Ray, I love you so much. Future Republican senator, Oregon. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, we'll see you soon, Joe Ray.
See y'all later.
I can't believe I just said that. Oh my God. Anyways, please forgive the Matrix, guys. Please forgive me. And so
how
this is
special is that? You guys got a little front row seat into a candidate for U.S. Senate in the state of Oregon. We got to light.
And we read Q posts with a senator, Shady.
We got to light this up, guys. Remember, if you would like to support Joe Ray Perkins, Senate candidate against Merkley anywhere in the borders of the United States, you can donate to her campaign. You can help her. You can send her messages. You can communicate with friends and family in the state of Oregon. And I would also like to say that this is not going to be the only candidate that we present here on the Matrix Groove show. We have quite a number of other ones, including Jesse Melton and a few others that are out there that want to come on and show you guys their truth or talk to you about what's going on with them. And so I'm looking really forward to it. And I hope that any candidate out there that might be listening reaches out to us. We would be more than willing to have you on. And we would even, hopefully in the future, we're going to be doing some political roundtables with multiple candidates discussing the future of our country.
Absolutely. And, you know, we're kind of falling on our face, too, because we can't do it all. It's tough to do everything. We do have some support and help, but we need to really get going on this, guys. We've got about 50 to 60 people following the Matrix account and about the same following Shady's account that are running for Congress, guys. And it's interesting that it's that many, Shady.
Yeah, it is, and it's interesting that they're becoming less and less shy about communicating with us too.
Right.
You know,
Right.
because I understand that. I understand the distancing. That makes sense to me. They don't need. You know, they're already having a hard time getting a footing in their district, and so you know, to some of the candidates, it seems like maybe it's a hurdle as opposed to a stepping stool. And so we want to show them that, you know, interacting with us and seeing our audience and showing themselves to you is a very positive thing because you see who they truly are. I mean, you can tell with Joe Ray that, you know, she is who she represents, much like Matrix and I are who we represent.
Shady, all we are Donald Trump supporters.
We're people who love our country, and we are confused because we support our president.
Right. And this Q seems to be some sort of stigma where it's not about a person or a thing. It's about the information that we've researched. And you know what really is the kicker? If they admit Q is real, then we've got so much research to throw their way, guys.
And they're
That's why they can't admit it.
They're on the cusp of having to admit it because it's now starting to seep into the mainstream media that the DNC server was not hacked. But all your left-wing pundits are still running right down the hallway screaming, the DNC server was hacked. The DNC server was hacked. Russia did it. Russia did it. Those are all lies, just like the
and we're like, wait a minute. We got the proof right here that it didn't.
We have proof that the Russians did not hack the DNC server.
That's right.
But they're trying to conflate the argument again and trying to say because we say that the Russians didn't hack the DNC server, we're saying Russians never meddle in an election ever. Not what we're saying.
China does. What about China, Shady?
Oh, no, don't look here, look there.
Amazing, guys. Just amazing. Wow. All right, so what do we got now? This was me yesterday, just chilling. Wow, look at how beautiful it was yesterday, Shady.
What a nice view you had there.
Yeah, it was. Let me just go down to this one and get it out of the way because, you know, this was an amazing day. Here we go.
Look how beautiful this is. Look at that. Oh, the beach. Got a little storm cloud out there. Look at that.
Still doing Q threads though, Shady.
From the beach.
From the beach. That's why I had a couple mess ups. But hey, it happens. Like I missed this post. I missed that one completely. But hey, we got it in the thread. We're good. And guys, I really appreciate each and every one of you. So let's go ahead and get to this one, Shady. This is the Q post that we're at right now, 4283. Would you take that?
All right, 4283. When does your enemy expend ammunition? Do you expend ammunition against a weak opponent? Do you expend ammunition against a non-threat? Critical thinking. Media cluster bombs attacks versus POTUS. Critical thinking. Media cluster bombs attacks versus Q and U. Q. So notice that statement. You are in the same classification of a line of attack as the president for a reason, because you are not weak. You are strong. You are becoming stronger. Your voice is getting more unified. Every day that clicks by, we shrink them. We had what was it? What was Mika yapping about this morning? That she was yelling at Twitter, saying, "Oh, I'm going to call Twitter." Like, you go ahead and call Twitter.
Call the manager.
Yeah, I said,
let's go to that. I got that.
Are you not
here.
able to control the narrative with your 10 people that watch your dumb show?
I know, Shady. There's probably more people watching right now. Press 17 if you love this show, guys. I love each and every one of you. Oh my God. Who would watch this chick? Anyways, here, look at, so this is a Freudian slip. Remember when she said this? Controlling what people think is our job.
She didn't say controlling what people hear. She said controlling what people think.
That's right. I think
What
my
you
chat is
think
frozen. Hang on.
is our job.
Yeah, that's what she said. And who is her dad, Shady.
Oh, the big new
The big new Brazil. Look at all those 17s, guys. Oh my gosh.
The big new is just like Kissinger. He is a Spartan in darkness.
Well, and remember, I had the, let me see. He's the one that actually invented Al-Qaeda, the base, under Carter.
That's correct. The whole escalation in the Middle East was predicated on the shenanigans from the Carter, Nixon, and the vice president's office, George H.W. Bush.
So let's look at what Mika's dad says. Here we go.
The other major change in international affairs is that for the first time in all of human history, mankind is politically awakened. That's a total new reality. Total new reality. It has not been so for most of human history until the last 100 years. And in the course of the last 100 years, the whole world has become politically awakened. And
Politically
no matter
awakened.
where you go, politics is a matter of social engagement, and most people know what is generally going on in the world, and are consciously aware of global iniquities, inequalities, lack of respect, exploitation. Mankind is now politically awakened and stirring. The combination of the two, a diversified global leadership, politically awakened masses, makes a much more difficult context for any major power, including currently the leading world power, the United States.
They are afraid of you awakening. He was afraid of the there's Osama bin Laden, Zabignu.
Deeply troubled.
Let's keep going.
That a very vague, emotionally stated, semi-theologically defined diagnosis of the central global menace is obscuring our national ability to comprehend the historically unprecedented challenge which is being posed in our time by a massive global political awakening.
Boom.
And thus is obstructing our ability to deal effectively with the global political turmoil that this awakening is generating.
Did you hear what he said, Shady?
I did.
What do you think of that?
Boom.
And we are now more awake than when this gentleman gave that speech at the Council on Foreign Relations, guys.
And what year was that?
At the beginning,
Remember?
I think it said here. Let me see. Did I?
I was trying to remember what year it was, but
Let me see. 2010.
2010. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, this we're discussing. This is a very good segue into the next Q post, because these guys had this organization set up. Like, this has all been a setup. Remember this one right here where he talks about Huma Abedin.
Yep. Infiltration, not invasion, for future events. Q.
That's right.
Take it,
And so we're
Shady.
going to look at this real quick, and then we're going to go back in time for a minute. This
So
is showing,
go ahead.
this is, what was this, 2016,
8/23, 2016. Yes, Shady. Huma Abedin's ties to the Muslim Brotherhood.
It's not hidden. It's just hidden because the media doesn't amplify it. You know, they did an article, but there's no amplification.
And the one thing that we've got to understand is they are using the word Muslim, but they're actually radical Islamicists, guys. There's a huge difference.
That's
As
right.
our General Flynn has, we've covered that. We showed him talking
everything
about that.
Everything is infiltrated. So much like, people talk. Okay, say for instance, people talk about the Freemasons. All right, and the nefarious things that go on in Freemasonry. Yes, that is right. But before the 1500s, Freemasonry was not, or Freemasons were not what they are today. The organization was infiltrated. Go back in history and look across the landscape, and you look at all around the world at all of these temples and buildings and things that were built. Who built that stuff? Masons. Masons built that stuff. Masons have the technology to build these things. They also have hidden the technology from you. And much like the Muslim Brotherhood, Okay. They call themselves the Muslim Brotherhood, but are they Muslim? No, they're not. They're anti-God. They're anti-religious. They have an agenda. They have a narrative. They're trying to hide among you.
That's right. And let me give you another example, Shady. Ted Deutsch, the Jewish House representative in Parkland.
Yes.
He goes by Jewish, but he supports radical Islamicist ideas, folks. He votes with the squad, guys. He's not helping, quote unquote, Jewish people.
That's correct. But he's going to scream
And hide behind that. Right.
He's going to scream anti-Semitism as soon as any human being criticizes him.
That's right. And what I want to point out to everybody again, it is not the Jews, folks. It's people that do not believe in God.
This is not Jewish people. This is not Muslim people. This is not Christian people. This is not Hindu people. This is not Buddhist people. This is not any people. Please stop turning your cannons on any humans.
Right.
This is established order. This is a new world order, the order of divide and conquer, or order out of chaos.
And they believe in a different God than you do, folks.
They believe in destroying what God has created as opposed to uplifting it.
Correct. And that's why I really hate to see, and that's why they're adamantly dropping all of the, we call it Jew stuff, right? Because they want you to think that that's what we're against. We are not against any man. We are against a belief system.
And so now that we're discussing intheMatrixxx, you want to grab a couple of posts? I've got some numbers here.
Yes, sir. Let me get.
I want to show them the couple different things. A lot of people don't maybe know some of these. So we're going to grab Q post number 2.
Hold up, my brother. Okay, so hashtag 2, comma.
Number 2, and then we're also going to bring in number 68.
Oh, that's a good year. I was born in that year, my friend.
We're going to bring in those 2 right now just to reference 2 different things regarding Huma. First, we'll read.
Oh, and by the way, yesterday, I want to tell you, he was talking to the farmers yesterday.
Yep.
And he said Huma, kind of. I dropped it into our chat. And I'm like, he said Huma.
Interesting, because Q posted about Huma yesterday.
Yes, but it was like kind of a mistake that he said Huma. Like he said Huma. I don't know. Oh man, I got to go find it. I'll find it. Shady, continue.
Yeah, so we're going to read this, but we're not going to read this all the way through. Matrix and I, we're just going to stop and banter a little bit within this Q post here, because there's a few very interesting things that are starting to connect. Okay, this is Q post number 2. This is the second drop. Okay, Mockingbird, HRC detained, not arrested yet. Where is Huma? Follow Huma. This has nothing to do with Russia yet. Why does POTUS surround himself with generals? What is military intelligence? Why go around the 3-letter agencies? What Supreme Court case allows for the use of military intelligence versus congressional assembled and approved agencies? Who has ultimate authority over our branches of military without approval conditions unless 90 plus in wartime conditions? This is your president has authority. What is the military code? Now, here's what's interesting. Where is AW being held? Why? A1? What are we talking about here? Now, you guys have to understand the connections of A1 and the IT people who were compromising and blackmailing all the senators and congressmen because they had access.
Didn't they go to Pakistan, Shady?
That's correct. And he had a whole network that were Pakistan, and they were also working in South Florida with Wasserman Schultz and with Ted Deutsch in these districts.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is how we're connecting back to the Muslim Brotherhood, which, remember, isn't Muslim. It's the name of their organization. Erase the fear and the judgment towards Muslim when you read Muslim Brotherhood. It's not Muslim. It's an organization. It's NWO. And so then Q goes on to say POTUS will not go on TV to address the nation. What does this mean? POTUS must isolate himself to prevent negative optics. POTUS knew removing criminal rogue elements as a first step was essential to free and pass legislation. Who has access to everything classified? Do you believe HRC, Soros, and Obama have more power than Trump? Fantasy. Whoever controls the office of the presidency controls this great land and the world. They never believed for a moment, Democrats and Republicans both, would lose control. So see, they've both lost control. This is not a R versus D battle. Why did Soros donate his money recently? Why would he place all his funds in an RC? Mockingbird 103017. God bless fellow patriots. Now you see, this is Q post number 2, and this is a setup. And then we see Huma, we think Huma Abedin, but then we go to this post 68. What data just dropped? Why is this relevant? Huma. Now, this is all capital letters. Is this talking about Huma Abedin? No. This is referring Harvard University Muslim Associate or alumni.
Alumni, yep.
HUMA, alumni from Harvard. Remember, we had all the professor from Harvard just recently who was arrested for sending secrets to China. So we're talking about multiple things. Where is Huma? At Harvard University. Who is Huma connected to? It's connected to Barack. It's connected to Jarrett. It's connected to Lynch. It's connected to Hillary. It's connected to all of them. Deutsch, A1, IT Brothers, Uranium One, all of them. What organization? So there you go. Yep, perfect. This is what we're talking about here.
It's a global organization that connects hundreds of Muslim graduates and affiliates from all the Harvard schools.
So this is a massive conglomerate of individuals who have infiltrated your systems, and they're using the Institute of colleges and universities as literally a brain grinding ground to take your children and turn them from beautiful, loving young kids into mentally deranged Democrat talking point ideologues.
Yep. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. And so, so that's amazing to point out, Shady. I'm going back to the post here. Yeah. So can we, this goes with today too. This is a marathon, not a sprint, guys.
Correct. Yes, that's right. And, this is also to give you guys that may be a little bit newer to Q an insight into what we were working on over 2 years ago, as far as like trying to figure out trying to decode these things and like, what does he mean by that? No, he's obviously doesn't mean this. He means this. And then we start to find this, and then this leads to that. And then you see that they have the whole network set up, and it's really orchestrated by China. And we know China is orchestrated by the deep state, the same people that control the Federal Reserve of the United States control China.
And let me play this for everybody too, Shady. Here we go.
Islam is a political ideology based on a religion. So this is a political system that we are facing, and we must defeat this political system. When you are facing an adversary, which I have faced these guys and also other adversaries of our country, you cannot sit there and go, geez, I don't know who, I wonder who these guys are, sort of twiddling your thumbs. You can't sit there and say, I can't clearly define this enemy, because when you cannot clearly define the threats that you're facing, you then cannot develop a strategy to defeat it.
They love this video, Shady.
So you must clearly, precisely, and thoughtfully define the enemy that you are facing, that we are facing. We are in a war. It's a war declared by our enemy. And our government does not allow those in government to be able to clearly define what it is that we're facing. Radical Islamists and radical Islamism. Isms that we faced over the last 75 years, Nazism, fascism, communism, that now it's radical Islamism. It is a cancerous, barbaric, vicious form of element inside of the Islamic system. Islam is a political ideology based on a religion. So this is a political system that we are facing, and we must defeat this political system, the cancerous form of this political system, which is this radical Islam.
Well said.
That's a huge boom. And I would like to reiterate, if you didn't catch the Q Lounge that was called Law Day we went over this exact thing of like, how can you attack and harm an enemy if we collectively as a country can't agree on what the enemy is?
That's right.
The whole idea, they've kept us confused about how to identify the real enemy, and what they've got us doing is they got us turning our guns on each other, don't they, Matrix? They've got us attacking Jewish people. They've got us attacking Muslim people. They've got the Muslim people attacking the Christian people. They've got the mainstream media attacking Q. They got Q Patriots attacking each other over religious ideologies. All these different formats are what? They're division, they're control mechanisms, and they're very functional. They work really well because you get triggered and you go off on people, and then you feel like, oh, well, I've made this statement, now I've got to stand by my words.
That's right.
Yep.
And look at this meme. This is very telling. This is just one example with Ted Deutsch claiming that he's the Jewish, House representative representing, Parkland district, right? So, but he's not. He's actually pushing the radical Islamicist agenda, folks.
And covering up for all the stuff going on there that they're using, in the backroom deals and everything. He's a puppet, and he's doing what he's told.
That's right. Pretty interesting. So that's, we here on the Matrix Groove Hour have already kind of gone through this, but this is setting it up for future events, guys. Huma, Aberdeen.
And just so everybody out there knows, we got a lot more than we discussed, but we can only insert stuff where it fits.
That's right. That's right.
There's a lot more to all this we're hinting at, but we can only get through. We're trying to show you. We're not trying to overwhelm you.
Right. And it's overwhelming. Let me tell you, that we're at 42,000, 4,200 posts. It's a lot, guys. It's a lot of digging here, and we just read you post 2, right? So this is China wants to patent, guys. I've reached my free article.
China wants to patent?
Yeah, they want to patent it. I've reached my free article limit. I can't look at this crap.
Oh, you've reached your article limit.
Yeah. But basically, they want to. Where am I now? There we go.
That article is referencing the Gilead, the remdesivir, or whatever you call that. And we are really just. The president on Monday, whenever he said, "I'm taking HCQ," he popped some melons out there.
Oh my gosh, heads exploded, dude.
Neil Cavuto exploded on live TV.
They're like, hurry, get the scientist, get the doctor, quick.
Get anybody that'll say he says no.
Right? And it's perfectly safe, guys. What's interesting to note is that we stopped using hydroxychloroquine in 2007. What was happening around 2007, Shady? Obamacare?
New legislation, also the implosion of our economy,
right?
And
Obamacare.
Yes,
sir. So this is what Q also led us to. This is Bill and Melinda Gates of Hell. Oh, excuse me.
No, it's just Bill and Melinda Gates, I think.
Foundation. Yep. I thought it was Gates of Hell Foundation, but I'm wrong.
Sometimes what things look like aren't what they are.
Right. So this is the plan, guys. They want a global action plan. Let's see what we got. Mr. Q team. Let's see what we got. Come on in. Boom. All right. So 4295. Wow. So people fell asleep long ago. People gave up control. People have been compartmentalized, divided. Divided, you are weak. Divided, you are taught to fight each other. Shady. Were we just talking about this, guys? Race versus race. Religion versus religion. Class versus class. Gender versus gender. Unity is what gives people strength. Shady, this is like your words exactly, my friend. Unity is what gives power to the people collectively. Power over government. Power over Killbox. Unity creates peace. Unity is humanity. The world is what we make it. Q.
Wow, that seems pretty humbling because I feel like I just said that exactly.
How about you guys out there in live chat? What do you think? Pretty amazing. Here we go again. Hatchwork says Q is listening. Hi, Q and Q Plus, says Christine. Wow.
I just don't think that we can reiterate it enough. And I've said it multiple times, but it is the truth. Like we have been trained like monkeys to go after and attack any person that it doesn't agree, assimilate, look like, think like. You know, I have no issue with people. I have no issue with talking to people who are atheists, even though I have a belief in God. I have no issue with talking to someone who's an atheist.
I don't like labels, bro.
I don't like any labels, but I don't have a problem talking to someone who has a Buddhist faith. I can connect right to them. I don't have a problem.
Shady,
talking
would
to
you
someone who
sit
has-
down with a skinhead for lunch and talk to him?
I mean, if they
I
were trying
would.
to figure something out, I would. If they were trying to attack me, maybe not. But if they
No,
were
I
trying
mean,
to
if you were able to
understand
sit
something,
down with him and talk to him about the truth and say that, hey, you know, this is the truth, I would talk to anybody, my friend.
I would sit down with anyone. I would sit down with Black Lives Matter. I would sit down with anyone, Me Too movement, that is willing to talk and be a human being and have an actual discussion about how we fix this.
We were
and
just talking
end
about
the thing.
religion versus religion, and it's not religion, Shady. This is, gosh, dude.
Confirmation that we're all in this together, and Q is reiterating to all of you out there that this
Thank you, Q.
has to stop. We have to stop thinking that our country doesn't matter. We have to stop thinking that what we do doesn't matter, and we have to stop thinking that they control us. Those things are very important, and within those actions of control, you react against other people instead of the control system that's right there controlling you. You've got to react against the control system, not someone you disagree with that agrees with the control system. It's not that person didn't do anything. They just agree with what they were brainwashed to think.
Yep.
They're not to attack.
They
We have
fell
to attack
asleep and they gave up control.
That's
You
right.
know,
We
and-
gave up control as Americans the moment that we decided to not pay attention to what the news was saying. The moment we decided to not vet the news and to allow corporate media to run rimshot over our country is the moment we started to lose it. And that happened. That was really happening right after World War II.
Wasn't there a quote, Shady? Don't talk about taxes and politics at the dinner table?
Or don't talk about politics and religion at the dinner table, wasn't it?
Right. Something like that, yeah. Very interesting.
Isn't that what we should talk about at the dinner table?
We should talk about whatever we want. It's my room.
It's
my house.
Shouldn't we talk about the strength of our faith or the conviction of our faith? Shouldn't we talk about the shenanigans that are going on in government? Shouldn't we talk about why we disagree with the Democrat Party? Shouldn't we talk about why we disagree with the rhinos out there? I mean, you know, this whole thing with Paul Ryan and, you know, Harry Reid and all this stuff that they were working out, Mitt Romney, these no name, they were all working together. They didn't care that they had different whatever. They were functioning together to attain a control system that couldn't be usurped because they thought they had it set up where even if an outsider did become president, they could control him.
Yeah. Yeah, they held the executive hostage. They thought they had enough control, but we are undoing it. The president and the military are undoing it, my friends. This is a military operation.
All right, someone there says check POTUS's last tweet, Matrix.
Uh-oh.
We got more. Somebody bring some sauce. Let's see what we got here.
Here we go. And by the way, hey, Joe Ray, I think, okay, so this is Michigan 3 hours ago.
She's here.
Here she is. So 11 minutes ago, Michigan sends absentee ballot applications. We saw that, right, to 7.7 million people ahead of the primaries.
I'm not sure if that's the one he's talking about or not.
Is it the timestamp we need to look at, Shady?
I'm not sure. I was trying to go back through there and see maybe if they were looking at this one or a different one. We fight against tyranny, deplorable. That's exactly what we do fight against. We fight against tyranny. We fight against any organization or person that attempts to tell you you can or cannot anything that's legal.
Right.
No, if something isn't illegal, you can. How about that?
Right.
If something's illegal, you shouldn't get caught or you're going to be in trouble.
That's right. Let's see. Was it 213? The world cannot swallow the truth. I'm just trying to figure out why that was so important. But
yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I was trying to catch something on the fly there. I'm not sure that I did.
yeah, very cool, guys. But I think, hey Q, why don't you give us confirmation that this is in fact Anon interaction, because it's becoming quite amazing, and I have a hard time believing it, but I'm honored to be here with all of you guys. All right, Shades. Wow, where were we at on the other post? Oh my gosh.
I don't know. We got out there. But it's good to connect back to those old posts and to bring this stuff that we know about the control system up front, and then to reconnect what Q just said here. I mean, that is a powerful post right there.
It is.
And that's another post that, you know, the media, they cannot focus on. This is why the media can't show people Q posts, because if they were to show people the Q post and say, oh, look, this crazy fridge guy, he's on the internet and he's posting about people that are fallen asleep long ago, and that he's talking about that people that are divided are weak, and he's talking about that you're taught to fight each other and you shouldn't fight each other against race. Well, that goes against their whole narrative.
Right.
They can't show it. They can't talk about it.
Part of that Gates Foundation drop was Fauci, Shady. There he is.
That's where we were.
Yeah. And we knew that. This is it. China wants to patent Gilead's experimental coronavirus drug.
And they're actually trying to hack into our systems to figure out what the research is we're doing here.
Right. And then we got this one here. This is YouTube channel. Oh my gosh, Shady.
And then we've got the Joe Biden clips.
Let's go play the one. I actually have a bunch of them on Twitter, guys.
And if the mods will drop this YouTube channel, not just the video, but the channel,
right?
Because you guys need to go watch these clips, because right here is the evidence that the media seems to not be able to find.
Right. Let's watch this one right here. This is damning enough. Here we go. Oops. There we go.
Very well indeed. As usual, when I hear your voice. Thank you very much.
Well, you are doing very well. Congratulations on getting the new prosecutor general. I know there's a lot more that has to be done, but I really think that's good, and I understand you're working with the rod in the coming days on a number of additional laws to secure the IMF. So, but congratulations on installing the new prosecutor general. It's going to be critical for him to work quickly to repair the damage Shokin did. And I'm a man of my word. And that now that the new prosecutor general is in place, we're ready to move forward in signing that new $1 billion loan guarantee. And I don't know how you want to go about that. I'm not going to be able to get to Kyiv anytime soon. Meaning the next month or so, and I don't know whether you could either sign it with our ambassador, or if you came here, we could sign it, or if you want, we're inviting Groisman here later. I'm going to be talking to him later this morning, not for that purpose. We're inviting him to Washington, and so I'll leave it up to you as to how you want that done and when you want it done.
First of all, thank you very much indeed for these words of support. Believe me that it was a very tough challenge and very difficult job, and Mrs. Timoshenko and Mr. Leshko fraction tried to break this, because we not only voted for the new prosecutor general, which we do in a very short period of time, within one day we changed the law. By the way, in this law, we are presenting the new structure of the General Prosecutor Office, including the General Inspection, as we agreed with you.
That's real.
And the second thing, I immediately invite Lutsenko and said that he should contact your embassy, and I would be very pleased if you will have a certain person who can come either from Washington or whenever. We have here, I don't remember his name, the Ukrainian origin American prosecutor. He is a little bit old. I sent to the Jeffrey his name, and he was ready to come and to be assistant and advisor. With a very good experience in the American system, and he can be the person of trust with the new prosecution system. I think this is exactly the right time to do that, and if he is still ready to come and to cooperate from the very first step, from the very first minute of the new prosecutor, that is exactly what I'm looking for.
Well, let me get in contact with the Justice Department and pursue that. I'll get his name and let me find out where that is, because it is in our interest, obviously, to provide professional assistance as quick as we can so this gets up and started in the right direction. So I will move on that as soon as we hang up. I'll put that in train, and I'll get back to you as to what I'm able to do.
Absolutely. The second thing, thank you very much indeed. This is exactly what I'm looking for. The second thing is that I want to thank you that you give me your word that immediately when we change the legislation and I appoint the new prosecutor general, and it would be Yuri Lutsenko, as we agreed on our previous meeting in Washington, and when it happened, we can have this loan guarantee, and thank you very much.
Well, that was very interesting because look, it was Shokin. Notice that he said, "Oh, what Shokin messed up." And Shokin is the guy that Rudy Giuliani has been talking to and had on his Common Sense show. And so Joe Biden there and the guy from Ukraine are discussing specifically, what Shokin messed up. Well, Shokin was the one who was investigating Burisma and Hunter Biden. So right there you have a specific quid pro quo on tape. Right? I mean, Matrix.
Right from the horse's mouth, guys.
Just telling you all about it. And the media will say that this is a debunked conspiracy theory that Joe Biden had anything to do with the removal of that prosecutor.
So I'd like to redefine the word debunked. Debunked means we don't want to look into it.
That is right. Debunked means intentionally ignored.
Right. I think this is the one where he's talking. Let's see this. Here.
One moment for Vice President Biden.
Yeah, I think this is the first one. Yeah.
Is this the one about the $1 billion? Hang on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it.
Introducing President
wrong.
Poroshenko.
Yeah,
Hey, Mr. President Joe Biden, how are you?
Very well indeed. All the time when I hear
I can't believe we have these tapes,
it's
Shady.
a great pleasure for me.
They are all archived.
Well, I'm on Air Force 2, and I think we're going to stay connected. We just took off, and I'm hoping this connection will stay open. Assuming that there is a new government and a new prosecutor general, I am prepared to do a public signing of the commitment for the $1 billion.
Wow.
And I'm not suggesting that that's what you want or don't want. I'm just suggesting that that's what we're prepared to do. And again, it wouldn't be finalized until, the IMF pieces are written.
Extremely strong motivation.
Wow.
One of the possible candidates was leader of my faction, Lutsenko, who is the public figure. If you think that the political motivated figure would be not very good from your point of view, I recall this proposal. I do not propose, because nobody knows that I want to propose Lutsenko. In this situation, I take all the political motivated figures out from this process.
All right, well, look, let me,
All right.
when
So
you and I finish speaking.
that is the very definition of quid pro quo, guys.
And it's on tape, man.
Changing the government, even. Shady.
Yeah, to get $1 billion, like who's not going to try to make a change to get $1 million?
Guess what? Scared the heck out of me. Did that scare the heck out of anybody else or just me? All right, so here's 4296, Shady. Dropped at 14:33 and 32 seconds today. There they all are. Nobody has masks on today,
Where's
Shades.
the masks?
Where'd they go?
No mask?
No. Oh, wait.
My country closed.
Wait. What? So we got this. What's this, Shady? What's
looks like there was no mask, and then right before the conference happened, there was a mask.
May 6th, 2020, masks off. May 8th, 2020, masks on. Reconcile. Pandemic. Q. I love it.
Pandemic. Dem panic. Planned
panic. Isn't that amazing how that worked out?
Isn't it amazing that you see that from that point of May 6th to May 8th? So this, to me, right here, May 6th, no one had their talking points. By May 8th, everyone was wearing a mask, including Dr. Fauci, and all of the clowns were put in masks. So
Right.
see how this is a good thing? We put the clowns in masks.
Shady,
We
when was
forced
this
the clowns
reconciled?
to
Let's
put them
see.
on.
This was air date March 8th, saying no masks. Shady. So March 8th, no masks.
March 6th.
March 8th, masks. See that? So we have Fauci on the day they put masks on.
Giving them their talking orders.
Well, no, he went against it. Let's
Oh,
listen
he
one
went
more
against it
time.
the day before. Now I see what you're saying.
The
All right,
masks
gotcha.
are important for someone who's infected to prevent them from infecting someone else. Now, when you see people and look at the films in China and South Korea, whatever, everybody's wearing a mask. Right now in the United States, people should not be walking around with masks.
Boom. That's all I want to play.
That's enough.
That's enough. The Fauci that everybody loves and hails on the D side said you don't need a mask, Shady.
And that they were actually dangerous. He actually said they were dangerous.
You want to continue playing that real quick again? I think it's worthy.
Because people are listening really closely to this.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is. And often, there are unintended consequences. People keep fiddling with the mask and they keep touching their face.
And can you get some schmutz sort of staying inside
schmutz,
there?
Shady.
Of
Schmutz.
course. But when you think masks, you should think of healthcare providers needing them and people who are ill. The people who, when you look at the films of foreign countries and you see 85% of the people wearing masks.
So that's it. I mean, we point proved, Shady.
Point proven.
Yeah.
Clowns wear masks.
Yes, they do. Wow.
And notice, let's just take this a little step further. Let's notice clowns wear masks. Let's think Antifa. Ooh. Oh, clowns wear masks. Let's think KKK. Ooh. Clowns wear masks, guys. Clowns want you to
Don't
not
be a clown.
know who they are. Don't be a clown.
Don't be a clown. Don't be a clown. We know now, guys. I mean, you
and
might have been a
I-
clown for a minute, and that's okay.
And listen, some of this comes along with you standing up and having power, and some of it is a choice. So think about this. So now I'm seeing people going into stores without masks on, grocery stores, and being harassed by people that work there and calling them names and belittling them and saying that they're going to call the police because they're inside their store not wearing a mask. Now, I would like to say to you, if you find yourself in that situation, you have a choice. You can be quiet, you can put your mask on, and you can get people to leave you alone, and there's no problem with that. Okay, I want you to recognize that this is your choice to make, and there's no problem with that. But if you want to be strong, and if you want to stand up, then don't put that mask on. Let them call the police, and let the police figure out what it is they're going to charge you with. And if they do arrest you, make sure you get every single name of every single individual involved in that interaction, because you have a bona fide, lock solid case against each of those individuals for violating your constitutional God-given rights.
That's right.
Take
That's
them
right.
to
Well said,
court.
my brother. By the way, there was a heroic, in my opinion, a gym was going to open, right? You saw the video of the officer that came in and said, "Hey guys, I just want to let you know you're all in violation of, section code, whatever." And with that being said, have a good day. And he walked away.
Yep. And
That
then
is
8
a
hours
hero.
later, he came back.
Did he hurt anybody? What happened?
Yeah, so they did that yesterday or day. I can't
Yep,
remember
it
what
was
day
yesterday,
now,
the
but-
day before. Day before.
Yeah, in the morning they did that, and then later that day they left, and then later that day they came back. Other officers came back from order of the governor and started arresting people at the gym, and they were arresting people. They arrested people again yesterday evening because the person who that they were trying to arrest wouldn't present ID to the police, so they arrested him for not presenting ID inside the gym.
Wow. Stand up. Wow, Shady.
You guys gotta stand up.
Wow. And I think those people at the gym did stand up. And let's just hope that, wow, guys. And we're going to get into that.
So we win a little, and then the tyrants come and push back.
Yeah. All right, so Shady, this is top secret. This is the letter that was all over the news last night, right?
Yep.
This is Susan Rice, from Susan Rice to Susan Rice.
This is from Susan Rice to Susan Rice on the day that President Trump was sworn in on the inauguration.
1/20/2017 at 12:15 p.m.
Like literally 5 minutes before the president was sworn in.
Wow. So,
and this portion has been redacted until now, right here, where we're getting ready to discuss.
which do you want to read it, Shady? Just read the whole thing, or?
Sure. I mean, I don't care. I can read the whole thing.
All right, let's do it. And when you're doing that, I've got to step away for just 1 second. Go ahead, Shady.
All right.
Thank you for taking over.
No problem. On January 5th, following a briefing by IC leadership on Russia hacking during the 2016 presidential election, President Obama had a brief follow-on conversation with FBI Director Comey and Deputy Attorney General Yates in the Oval Office. Vice President Biden and I were also present. Very critical. Now remember, these parts were unredacted before. President Obama began the conversation by stressing his continued commitment to ensuring that every aspect of the issue is handled by the intelligence and law enforcement communities by the book. The president stressed that he is not asking about initiating or instructing anything from a law enforcement perspective. He reiterated that our law enforcement team needs to proceed as it normally would by the book. From a national security perspective, however, President Obama said he wants to be sure that as we engage with an incoming team, we are mindful to ascertain if there is any reason that we cannot share information fully as it relates to Russia. And then this was the redacted part. Director Comey affirmed that he is proceeding by the book as it relates to law enforcement. From a national security perspective, Comey said he does have some concerns that incoming NSA Flynn is speaking frequently with Russian Ambassador Kislyak. Comey said that could be an issue if it relates to sharing sensitive information. Obama asked if Comey was saying the NSC should not pass sensitive information related to Russia to Flynn. Comey replied, potentially. He added that he has no indication thus far that Flynn has passed classified information to Kislyak, but he noted that the level of communication is unusual. The president asked Comey to inform him if anything changes in the next few weeks that should affect how we share classified information with the incoming team. Comey said he would. So this is multi-tiered. Number one, this is Comey admitting that they didn't have any information on General Flynn, that he passed any classified information or was working with the Russians or anything on any phone call at this moment, because the phone calls had already happened between him and Kislyak. They'd listened to every single phone call. They had heard every single call. And he stated right here to the president that there was no evidence. But General Flynn's partner was on Laura Ingraham last night, and she was in the not these briefings, but the other briefings with General Flynn, where her and the two of them were discussing, like, how come the Obama administration just briefed us on everything to do with North Korea and everything to do with all these other countries and all the stuff with the European Union and what's going on in South America and all of this stuff, but during any of the conversations did they mention one time, they didn't mention one thing about anything to do with Russia to the NSA, incoming NSA advisor and his team. How very interesting that this right here shows you that they mandated them not give the incoming administration any information. And even if you thought that General Flynn was a Russian asset, why would you not brief the president of the United States and say, sir, Mr. President, I think you have a Russian asset in your team? They couldn't do that because they knew that General Flynn had not passed any classified information or done anything.
That's right. And let's look at this real quick. This is March 17th. Let's see if I can get it to go.
We do it every night.
We're gonna. So this is.
I don't want to know that.
What? Cascade?
She said we do it every night.
We do it every night. Oh my God, Shady.
I
Comey on Flynn, Shady. I understand people's curiosity about our work. And it's really weird. Let's check it out real quick.
The Russian ambassador, but he said he did not remember. whether he discussed sanctions against Russia with that ambassador. And I find that really hard to believe. And wouldn't you think that at the height of our concern about Russian hacking, that Mr. Flynn would have remembered meeting with the Russian ambassador and would have told him to stop meddling in our affairs? But that didn't happen, did it?
So that's not something I can answer.
Not only did Mr. Flynn not remember talking to the Russian ambassador, and not only did he not remember what they talked about, he also appeared to have lied to Vice President-elect Mike Pence all about it. Now, Mr. Comey, do you think that Mr. Flynn's failure to disclose the communication and contact he had with the Russian ambassador and their topic of conversation, along with a blatant lie to Vice President Pence, meet the standard for an investigation by the FBI?
I have to give you the same answer. I'm not going to comment.
All right, so do you see they're shaping a narrative? He doesn't answer, but the narrative is being shaped, Shady.
That's right. They're setting up. They're not asking questions. They're making statements.
That's right. And they're all incorrect.
And they're all wrong, but they're all assumed from the perspective of the information they were given behind the scenes to prep the questions with.
That's right. I kind of wanted to show you that because
the same thing happened with impeachment. Like, this is their move.
Yeah, I mean, I just really quick wanted to show you guys how the narrative is shaped, and we all see through it here, but it's very interesting that they can say, "I can't answer that question," but what was said before that is news.
That's right, and so that's what the news picks up and runs with, including, John Roberts,
right, and then
Lindsey Graham, and all these other people that are,
and Adam Schiff can openly lie because he has immunity.
So he thinks.
Well, my God, guys, it's all being exposed. Right now, your adversaries, if you will, or your family members that don't believe that this is happening, just be very patient.
Okay,
very patient.
Like we got a couple people out there in the chat. I just noticed talking about the IRS and saying Trump should get rid of the IRS. Let me explain to you. The IRS is the enforcement arm of the Federal Reserve, okay? Yep. So the IRS will go away once the Federal Reserve transition into the Treasury is complete, because the Treasury has no standard or source for collecting a tax from an American person.
That's right. Shady, very well said. And what people don't realize is that the Treasury is in control of the Federal Reserve. Finally, that money went into the Treasury. Heads exploded, folks, when he signed the checks. He even made a joke about it yesterday. Should I sign the checks again? Powell is only giving loans to small businesses. Never in history.
And there's also, there's also the hubbub. Oh, look what the president's doing. All of these corporate companies like Planned Parenthood and all these other places got money. Yes, they did. What are we doing? Did we give them a honeypot? We're setting them up,
and they're going to have to pay it back into the Treasury, guys.
And now they're going. And now
not
they're
the Fed
caught as well. They're caught cheating, and the president announced that the attorney general will be prosecuting any business that cheated and tried to get money whenever they weren't qualified.
Boom.
We set them up. It's a honeypot.
We already saw him go after Harvard, Shady.
Define trap.
Boom shakalaka. This is getting good, guys.
Boom.
All right, let's check out this video. This is a Q post. Q puts us to, oh my gosh, I forgot to follow because I was at the beach. What happened? The U.S. president in the 2016 election and throughout the first 2 years of his election was apparent. It was a grave injustice, and it was unprecedented in American history. We saw two different standards of justice. Equal justice under the law, guys. Here, let's listen.
And breaking today, this is important. The Attorney General, Bill Barr, said Joe and Barack, they may not likely face persecution in the Durham probe as of now. Okay. Now, while the media mob is, well, visibly breathing a collective sigh of relief, they're actually missing the powerful message from the Attorney General. Pay very close attention, because the headline of what his remarks were missed by most people in the mob. Take a look.
Over the past few decades, there have been increasing attempts to use the criminal justice system as a political weapon. What happened to the president in the 2016 election and throughout the first 2 years of his administration was abhorrent. It was a grave injustice.
Buffering.
And it was unprecedented in American history. We saw two different standards of justice emerge, one that applied to President Trump and his associates, and the other that applied to everybody else. We can't allow this ever to happen again. The Durham investigation is trying to get to the bottom of what happened.
All right, the Attorney General is right. Those are powerful words. If you listen to them, we must never allow this to happen again. All must be held accountable. The country as we know it,
yes,
it doesn't exist.
And that is very important. I don't care if you like Orange Man bad or not, guys. This should never happen again. A lot of the Democrat people that I know feel like the Democrat Party left them. They're too radical now.
Yes.
They're, people that, we should probably close the border. Maybe we should have jobs in the U.S. These people that were Democrats, in the old, terminology of it, just like the Republican Party left us during the Bush years, guys.
That's right. They completely turned their back on us and they walked away from us. And I would also like to say that the media consistently, if you pay attention, what you keep hearing is, oh, well, all of the clowns on TV, whether it, maybe it's Shannon Bream or Martha McCallum or Neil Cavuto, but these people consistently say, well, I guess we're going to wait on the Durham report. Okay, guys, I know that you're all like up for special counsel's offices and Watergates and Monica Lewinsky type scenarios, but this is not going to go down this way. John Durham will not be initiating a report. He will file indictments. You will know of his work when the indictments are filed and or unsealed. He's not going to be coming out and saying, oh, well, he's not going to be doing a Comey, okay, where you come out and you just start talking about cases and stuff and you say, oh, well, this is going on with here, but we could not find enough evidence to that. What was he even doing there?
Right.
You see this? This is not what's going to happen with John Durham, even though the media somehow can't understand how, again, whenever I see them not understand how law works, I know they're BSing us because they do know. They're pretending to not know so that you won't know.
Right.
It's a move. The politicians are not stupid. You are trained to think that politicians are stupid and dumb and can't do what it is you want them to do. No, they're not that. That's a perception they've given you to short sight think it. They are doing exactly what it is that they want to do, and they don't care what you think. How about that?
That's right. Shady, you and I had a theory together that the National Guard might step in for protests, but not protests, for us and them attacking us, but for protests of us wanting to open our states, Shady. Remember that?
Yes, I do.
And I had this theory with we did this. You and I together. And I want to make sure you know that. Because I said, look, National Guard theory now holding water. We talked about this on this show, Shady and I. And I think Shady has a great tweet here, but we'll go to that in a second. I want you to cover it, Shady. But look at this. Trump tells governor feds will step in if government disagrees with state reopening plans, Shady.
This means exactly what I thought.
And let's go to your amazing tweet here, Shady. I want you to cover it.
This connects us back to some of the very first Q posts. If you guys don't have this tweet, I did this in early May, but whenever we were seeing this come up, because it doesn't make any sense that we've called the National Guard up. Why are we doing this? And then I went back and looked at the old Q post, but saying, is it possible they will be deployed to protect your freedom from tyranny?
Yeah.
And this was before we even moved into the reopening, but this is what we're seeing. They are active in every state, and whose authority in a national emergency are all National Guard under? The National Guard in a national emergency become the militia. They are the militia.
Right.
They are in tandem
from
with
you. From what I understand, Shady, is the governors have control over the National Guard in deployment for 30 days. After that 30 days, they fall under Fed.
Correct.
Marines.
That's correct.
And I think that if Zoltan's out there, yeah, so they'll protect against everything, Shane. They will make, I believe, Shady and I talking about this, and I don't know, so everything that, we live dig to, I think we came up with this on the show, Shady, didn't we?
No, actually, I did this thread at late one night, and then we dug into it that morning, and we discussed it on the show.
And amazing, dude. So, Shady, read this post, because we thought that it was going to be the other way around, right, Shady? Like when we first were...
Back whenever the posts were coming out, we're like, oh, we don't understand.
Oh my God, look at Real Mentoring. She said, done in 30. Oh my God. Okay, go, Shady. Take it.
This is Q Post 22. This is October 31 of 17. Who controls the National Guard? Why was the National Guard recently activated in select cities within the U.S.? Can the National Guard work in coordination with the Marines? Do conditions need to be satisfied to authorize? What former president used the military to save the republic, and what occurred exactly? Biggest drop to ever be provided on poll, and that is reference to 4chan.
At the time, yep.
Study and prepare. The masses tend to panic in such situations. No war, no civil unrest, clean and swift.
Boom.
Q Post number 22.
And that's an amazing post, Shady. Wow.
And let's go to the next one that's relevant, because we're going to see how.
So we dug in real quick though, Shady.
Go ahead.
We dug into the former president, Abraham Lincoln, guys.
That's right.
That's one of them. There's a couple.
And the reason that I found this so striking that night was because the night I made this post and kind of came across all this was the day that the president was sitting in front of Lincoln with McCollum and Brett Baer.
Boom.
That was the day. So
that's right. So I remember the conversation now. Yeah.
Yep. And so we were like, oh my God. And so, okay, now that was Q Post 22. The very next post, note, military intelligence has the same SAPs, special access programs, as NSA, CIA, etc., as designated post 9/11. Why is this relevant? Who can be held hostage and controlled? Clowns think its foreign offshore assets are strong enough to defend against the U.S. executive, not accounting for the military use on domestic soil.
Boom.
Why does the Constitution explicitly grant this authority to the president, and what is it to prevent? They knew our agencies would grow in power so much that they could handle, or that could or can hold the executive hostage or engage with bad actors. Trump nominated someone new to direct every agency but one. He controls the top. Look at that. Why does the Constitution explicitly grant this authority to the president? So that at any point the government becomes tyrannical, we the people can stand up with the power of the executive office and throw off such government.
Boom, Shady. And at this time, the government that we did not control was the DNI/NRO.
That's correct. This was early on. So and now we have them. Through the D class and the Q Post have indicated that we have them. And did I have? I'm trying to remember. Did I have one more in this one? That was 23. Was it my?
No, you had that guy.
The picture. Okay, yeah. And so then, if you
scary Pepe's, Shady.
Well, those Pepe's are defending America.
Okay, that's good then. That's not pointed at me.
No, that's pointed at Deep State, brother.
Woo!
See that flag behind them?
I love it, dude. Shady, this is amazing, bro.
And so, like, if you click on this, you'll see that I pinned this to Twitter last night, and I went in and put some
Did you put
other links underneath that were
here. It is. Yep.
I put this in that you just showed.
Yes, sir.
We were talking about the president, and then also I went ahead and grabbed some Anon research that was showing what we're talking about here. Whenever the president considers the unlawful obstructions, civilisation, or rebellion make it impracticable to enforce the laws of the United States in any state or territory, he may call into federal service such of the militia of any state.
Boom. Let's actually go to that because that's amazing. Let's go.
And then there's actually,
Hang on.
There's more info there.
Check that out. So this is the federal duty.
The president has the authority to bring the National Guard in to defend you against your governor. Now notice, remember in the 60s, they were sitting in the National Guard to defend the government against the people.
Right.
And then we're all confused. They're like, oh, what's going on? And then they sent the National Guard to Iraq. Why would they do that? Why would they want to deploy all the National Guard to Iraq? I'll tell you why. Because they didn't want any of them here defending you whenever they usurped your country and took it over from the inside.
They were using it the wrong way for them, guys. Now it's being used for us.
And read this. The United States Congress has enacted various laws that control the National Guard. The Militia Acts of 1791, providing for the authority of the president to call out the militia and providing federal standards for the organization of the militia. Guys, what you are seeing is your republic having an amazing rebirth. And
How did he?
where-
Oh, this guy's awesome. Snig is awesome, by the way. I've
Yes,
known
he
him
is.
since the Q Army server, Shady. He was one of our originals. He was real. So this is. How does he get that? How does he get bold? That's amazing.
Probably from he might have copied it from somewhere. I don't know. But what it takes to save the republic, Lincoln is commander in chief, and this is what Q was referring to in that post of like what other president used these powers, and
Yep.
that would be Lincoln to save the republic after the war.
That's right. And this was right when President was doing the interview at the Lincoln Memorial, Shady.
Pointing us directly to this exact thing, in my opinion.
I'm glad he jumped in on this. He's amazing. So Lincoln claimed broad emergency powers vested in the executive branch. In the Constitution, Section 2, take care that laws be faithfully executed. And in his oath, to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. Wow. You know what was interesting, Shady? I don't know. I would like to go to the whitehouse.gov and see if they have the Second Amendment in full. Because during the Obama years, it just said right to bear arms. It didn't say the well-regulated militia. Yeah.
A well-regulated militia. Yep, that's the proper statement for a reason.
That's right. Now, and you know, we've been upset with our, government. A lot of people have. Because they've been using it against us, Shady. Against. Let me see.
When
Can
the
we
people
find
fear the government, there is tyranny. When the government fears the people, there is liberty.
Bill of Rights. That's a great statement too, by the way. So I thought we had like on here, maybe they don't have it anymore. You know what I mean? They used to have on Obama's site the Bill of Rights, and they just said right to bear arms. That's it. Look at Made in the USA, guys. That's coming back, Shady.
Sure is.
Wow. Oh, wow. So, guys, Shady, that is an excellent post, Shady. Excellent thread. Where are you at? Let me find it again. There it is. And you added his to this? Did you add his?
Yeah, I added some. I'm not sure exactly what I did. It was late last night whenever I was kind of putting it together. But these guys were offering some great sauce in the moment, and so I was dropping it in there. But so.
And well done, brother.
The communications that we're having are insane, and keeping up with this is crazy. And it was just awesome to have a bunch of people just add stuff right there. I'm like, oh, boom, boom. I'm gonna put that in. I'm gonna put that in.
I'm telling you, a lot of a lot of the Anons left the Chan boards, and underneath the comments are amazing, Shady.
Well, one thing that I would like to present to you is like just very similar to kind of like getting the information and what we did last night with this. Like, okay, we start talking about an idea. This person has this comment, and then I put this comment in with the tweet so other people can see the comment, and then add that to the bottom so that you get. What's the difference between that and organizing a militia against an enemy?
Right.
There's no difference. We're doing the exact same thing. We are the militia. Do you get that, everybody? You don't have to be carrying a musket and
keyboard warriors
to be a militiaman. You
Digital
standing
soldiers.
up for your Constitution, or even thinking that your Constitution is important, makes you a member of the United States militia.
That's
It's
right.
not a bad word. It's not a word to be afraid of.
Oh, gosh. Wow,
Where'd you go?
Shady.
I don't
I'm
know
right
where
here.
you're at.
I'm just
Oh.
checking out. So this is the Flynn tweet. Very, very amazing. Oh my gosh. Be not afraid. And it reminded me of this, but I can't play it because YouTube banned me globally with the song. But the Do Not Fear Q led to the armor of God. So I thought that was very amazing. Shady, is Joe Ray still? Is she here? I can't see.
She jumped back in for a second, but we were
Okay.
kind of in the middle of something. I think she got another call.
Gotcha. But
She was starting to come back in.
we have a prospective senator right here with us, guys. How amazing is that?
And we're going to get her elected too.
Absolutely. Wow.
When you are awake, you stand on the outside of the stable group think collective and have free thought. Free thought is a philosophical viewpoint which holds that positions regarding truth should be formed on the basis of logic, reason, and empiricism, rather than authority, tradition, revelation, or dogma. This represents a clear and present danger to the constitutional republic of the United States of America. Q. Guys, look at what we're talking about. You have no idea how beautiful and huge this plan is. This is a beautiful plan, my friend. This is a beautiful plan to relaunch a powerful freedom movement on planet Earth. And it is working, and you guys are getting a front row seat.
Do not fear.
Just a touch, baby. I look around, since city's cold and empty, no one's around to judge me. I can see clearly when you're gone. I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. I said,
Wow, great video by Alpha Punisher. Amazing. Shady, what a great show. Jo Ray Perkins, Republican nominee for Oregon. She won, Shady.
One step away, brother.
One step away. And Q, thank you for posting on our show. Shady, this post right here blew me away, right here. And you've been knocking it out of the park, Shady. I just want to tell you guys, make sure you go watch that last Q Lounge Live. I'm so proud of you, Shady. I love you so much. You are stepping into it. Amazing, my brother. So honored to know you, my friend.
It is more than a pleasure to know you, and it is a extreme pleasure to be here with all of you and to get the energy that you bring. You guys have to understand, you're the energy that fuels us. You fuel us. We do not want to let you down, and we promise we won't. And that's That post right there almost seemed like a quote.
Well, you know, we were talking about anon interaction. We were talking about this again, Shady, because we're very adamant that it is not religion versus religion. It's where we go, when we go well. It's not race versus race. We don't want to fight each other. We need to be united. And it's amazing how we have been compartmentalized, because there's people on there, you know, doing this over here. We're doing this here. We used to go all over the place, Shady. We used to go on the Patriots soapbox. We used to go on all these other shows, but the attacks stopped that on purpose, I believe. And I am putting it out there. Shady and I will go on any show. Just contact us anytime. And we'll have you here too.
Sure will.
And with that, Shady,
boom.
I love you, bro. And I love each and every one of you.
Great show, guys.
Yeah, Steven says that his list says Jesus said, "Be not afraid" 7 times. Thank you for that, my friend. And with that, can you hear me? Also, guys, intheMatrixx with 3x's.com. We need your support now more than ever. The mods will drop Patreon. The mods will drop the PayPal. Thank you, guys. God bless. Peace. Another great show, mods. Love you.